Okay, that timer is taking way too long to count down. I mean, that was a long, like 5 minutes. It's still like a minute and a half to go. So I thought, you know what, let's just start and, let's get chatting. How is everyone's Fridays doing? Vamis says, Vamsi, I hope I pronounced it right, says, let's go. Let's do it. Oh, and we've got Nick Hill. Sorry, I missed that too. Says, let's go. Let's do it. And we have some more messages up above. So let's get going. How is everybody's Friday going? It's a bank holiday in the UK. But I thought, you know what? We're not all in the UK. And we might not all have bank holidays today. So let's do a lunchtime live stream still. And it's Saturday and Sunday coming up, and those are weekends. We'll probably take a break from those. I will still be streaming, but it won't be kind of my lunchtime, chill out, brown bag session. I'll actually be streaming behind the scenes tomorrow, probably around 1 o'clock again. I need to confirm that with the organisers today of the hackathon, but I will be live streaming behind the scenes of a hackathon, speaking to the team members and see how the hackathon's going, what projects they're building and so forth. So that's really exciting. So how is everybody doing today? Tell me. I'm excited. So what has changed since I spoke to you yesterday, if you were on the call yesterday? If you were not on the stream yesterday, just let me know how it's going, how your week has been. It's coming to the end of the week now. So, yes, are you ready for the weekend? Have you done lots of open source this week already? And are you going to do more this weekend? I hope that is the case. COVID-19 every day, it's a holiday in India. Yeah, some people, I guess, are seeing it that way. Other people, people like myself, I'm doubling down, working harder, trying to, document my journey more. Well, my journey, not physical journey, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck at home in my command center, as you can see. But I am trying to put out more content and document my coding. And my new clients that I've got coming up, I'm really hoping to be able to share some of the work I do with them, the coding, whatever it is, the Angular, the React, or whatever it is. I want to share that more with you. So with my current client that I'm finishing this month, they're not keen about me sharing it. So in the near future, I'm hoping to share a lot more with you. And I'm also really keen to see more of your projects and what you've been working on. Okay, Vamsi has shared a GitHub link. This was the face recognition one we spoke about yesterday, right? Okay, let me get that up on the screen. Let's have a look. We will see how it goes. How is the video and audio today, by the way? Let me know how it was. How it is, not was. We're still going. We just started. Jennifer, great to have you here. Doing well. It's 5 a.m. I changed my repo names to be more consistent. Oh, we'll check those out. That's awesome. Oh, I love that. Love that progress. No matter how big or how small, it's all about just stepping forward one more and making those improvements. So let's have a look. Great video and audio. Awesome. Thank you very much for confirming that. Let me share my screen, and then you can tell me if that's still looking good. Okay, so that's should be my screen coming through now. Hopefully that's all still legible. D-Raj, let's go. Looks good probably, maybe. Awesome. Okay, so first of all, we are going to check out Vamsi's repo. Thank you for sharing the link again. This is my GitHub stuff. So you can see today I've already done 8 contributions, 8 open source contributions. I was on a live stream just before this on my other channel with Andrew, on our Code Mortals channel, and we were doing some contributions. We were getting GitHub Actions and CI running for our new project that we're working on, open source project. I didn't say open source because for me everything is open source, but I thought I'd just say that and let you know. So those are the contributions that I've made. But let's open a new tab and let's go to GitHub and let's paste this in, and let's see what we've got. So face reco by Vamsi. Okay, first things I would say first that I've seen, you've got no description or website link. I think it'd be good definitely to have a description even if you haven't got a website link, but hopefully you can. This does look like it is just JavaScript, so you could host this in GitHub Pages. Vamsi, I am double your age. I'm old. You're young, you're 18, really young. Other thing I'd suggest is if I go to your profile, by the icon or lack of icon down here, you haven't got a profile. So I would highly recommend putting a profile, otherwise it looks like a spam account. That's my suggestion. And then this will then get updated and you will have you will have a profile picture look better. The next thing I'd say is we never usually commit the node modules. So I would say put that as a git ignore, and you'd have run npm install when cloning the project to get that. Andrew, good to have you here. So I was the Andrew that I mentioned that I was on a stream earlier on with. This is the Andrew. So GitHub Actions, happy days. It was good to get the CI working. Just need to fix the HTML index file. Yes. So we had some challenges with GitHub Actions. For some reason, the template that we used to get started, it was a basic node template, but the template we used to get started wasn't running. So we realized that the way the branches were done on it using the square brackets rather than a list in the YAML file was causing some problems. But we got that working and it all deployed correctly, although when we go visit the URL, it doesn't work. So there's still some configuration we need to sort out, but it is quite interesting. D-Raj, can I share my friend's repo? I see him doing some really good work. Yeah, do share the repo. I don't think you can share the whole link. What you need to do, I don't know if you can see this on my screen, just like Vamsi did, share the bit after github.com/ and share that part afterwards. And I will try and have a look. Amadine, awesome to have you here again. Really good to have you here. Hope your Friday is going well. So Vamsi, I will, so people who have just joined, I'm just reviewing another open source project and I'm going to just raise some issues. But if you want to raise the issues to get your green squares on your GitHub, because I have lots of green squares, I always want more, don't get me wrong, but other people can raise it. So if anyone wants to raise an issue on this repo who hasn't got any GitHub contributions for today, I would say raise an issue to say node modules should be ignored from the project. That's my first suggestion. Another issue would be adding a description. I think it's important, and ideally with a website as well. So let's have a look. So it's deployment of AWS. You've got a README. You've got some clear instructions. I think that's really good. And you've got examples using Postman. Another thing you could do is you can do export your Postman examples so people can import them straight away. But this looks really good. I like it. And you've got a GPL license. All looks really good. Let me raise those issues because no one's jumping in the chat to say they want to raise them. So I'll raise them for you. So remove node modules and add as git ignore. There we go. There's one issue. And then the other issue was, oh yeah, description, right? I'm not going to raise one for your profile picture on GitHub. I think you should do that separately. So let's have a look. We have description. Yes, it's really important. GitHub repo to have a description and ideally a link. So if you, I know there's no front end for yours. It did seem like it was just an API only, but you can still have a link to the API where people can still use it rather than having to deploy it themselves. I think that'll be quite useful as well. So hopefully that helps, Vamsi, and we look forward to seeing more improvements as you work through this. But yeah, it's looking good. I think it looks good. You've also got, this is what's being posted. It would be nice to show the response that you get back because it's not clear what JSON we would get back with the requests. So I think it's important to show what response they get back. I think that would be good. And also, if there's any errors, it'd be also good to see those as well. I'm not too keen on the form on the content type. I prefer JSON, but it's your API. It's just a suggestion. So what else have we got in the chat? Just a beginner in this kind of stuff. Yeah, well, look, honestly, we're all beginners. I've been doing open source for well over 10 years. I've been coding for over 15 years, and I'm still learning all the time. So don't worry. So don't take my constructive criticism as a negative. I can go to projects from people who have got 10 years experience, and I'll probably be making similar suggestions to them. And you could probably look at my repos and make suggestions to me. A fresh pair of eyes goes such a long way. It's really important. So if anyone wants to raise any issues, you can go to any of my open source projects. I have a lot, and just raise some issues. And if I like them and want to do them, then I'll make those changes, or I'll say, oh, shall I do it, or do you want to do it? And then maybe you want to make those changes. And if I don't like it, I'll say, no, thank you very much, and close the issue. So there's no harm in raising them. And same, Vamsi, with yours, if I raise issues and you don't agree with it, then just say no, thank you, and hit close. You're the maintainer of your project. It's your decision. No negatives, open to any suggestion. Awesome. Okay, so what else? So I think I'm going to leave it there with your repo. We'll look at some other repos as well. But we can keep revisiting it, and as you make changes and improvements, we can revisit it, and we can dig further into your code and have a look. I know Andrew on the chat now is really likes Express, and might have some suggestions. So another suggestion is you see inconsistencies. So you've got single quote and double quote. I think single quote is the preferred one, but at least be consistent. It looks like you majority of the time have a single quote. So I would suggest putting a single quote. I can raise an issue for that as well. Consistent string quotation. Sometimes, oh, can't spell sometimes. Sometimes a single quote is used, and other times a double quote is used. Any suggestions using Flutter as a front end? I haven't used Flutter, so I can't suggest it. I use Ionic for mobile, and I find that works really well. Ben04 Rogers. Ben, I'll just call you Ben, it's easier. Good to have you here. Ben, tell us about how your Friday's going and what open source contributions you have been doing. I'm really keen to have a look. Right, okay, next person. Yeah, Ionic is really good. Vamsi, Ionic I prefer Ionic because I can use the Angular skills that I've got to use in Ionic, and then I can connect it with Firebase and so forth. With Flutter, I'd have to learn a whole new language again. I don't know how much benefit I'd get out of that. I know it's a really hot topic at the moment, but I don't know. Yeah, a lot of it is Dart as well. I'm not sure. I don't know if anyone else in the chat has any suggestions on Flutter. I know Andrew does a lot of reading about these sorts of things, so he might have some feedback. You're learning Ionic, by the way. Ionic is awesome. When I have to do a mobile app at a hackathon, I always use Ionic. It's really, really good. Right, so who was next in the chat? I've kind of lost my place in the chat. Who was next? I think, let me go back. Diraj says he's got a repo to share. Okay, I think that one was next. Let's go have a look at that. And Nick Hill, can I suggest anything from my repo? What is your repo? Do share Firebase versus. Do share it in the chat. Firebase versus Node.js. Can you suggest something about it? Well, they can kind of complement each other because your functions are running in the functions that run on Firebase are probably running on Node, is my understanding. So there are things you can do in Firebase that you can't easily do in Node, but then there are things in Node that you can't do in Firebase. So for example, in Node, you can keep connections open for WebSockets. So you could kind of run a socket with Twitter and get constant streams from Twitter. However, in Firebase, you've got a real-time database that is really nice. So it depends what you're trying to do. It depends what you're trying to do. So let's have a look. Let's see if I get this up. Let's see if I got the URL right. We have got the URL right. Does this, Diraj, does this look correct to you? Is this the correct Git basics? Looks like the correct repo. It's got a description. Nice. 19 stars, no forks. All looking good. Yeah, disclaimer, I've used a lot of resource internet to learn. Okay, that's looking good. Got diagram as well, nice. Tortoise SVN, whew, been a long time I didn't see that. But it's good that you got some history in there as well. Get some diagrams. I do like the diagrams. So Git. You talk a bit about Git. You've got the official website. Talk about Git Bash. I'm guessing Git Bash is for Windows. Got basic Git commands, config stuff. Nice. Initialize. Good diagrams. The only thing I say about the diagrams is, although they look good, they look like they've been done by different people or different software. So it's just, for example, the computer in this one looks different to the computer in this one, which also, is it different or similar? Let me just check. Yeah, it's different again to the computer in this one. So I would just say have it in different icons and different colors. I would say have it consistently and make it look a lot more professional. Do I have any courses to recommend on Angular? Nikhil, have I pronounced that right? I will look at your repo next. Any courses I recommend on Angular and Ionic? Andrew and me have been thinking about doing a course, but that will be a while before that happens. I will definitely join our Code Mortals live streams. We do a lot of Angular, Firebase, and we'll do more Ionic on there as well. You can, code with us while we stream. I could do a live stream on Ionic, and I could just work through it with all of you as well. I could do that too, like a 3 hour live stream. We could build some sort of app, maybe with Firebase as well. That could be quite interesting. But I don't know of any courses. The official documentations are usually quite good, and then I would just, as you build your app, you need to learn more things, and then you can dig into certain areas into the official documentation. I recommend going to the official documentation as much as possible, rather than trying to go to out of date. A lot of blog posts that help you get started in these things, they're out of date, and you end up learning the things like not the right way to do things. Nice, that'd be really helpful. Cool, well, keep reminding me and I will do it, definitely. Especially as my client work quietens down over the next couple of weeks, then I'm going to get more time to do more of these live streams. If you want an Ionic one, I can maybe pick one of my projects that's got an Angular front end and a back end, and I can maybe do create an Ionic, that's a hard word to say, an Ionic project that's going to mirror the desktop version or something like that. So yeah, that'd be really good. We can look at that. Love the way you're encouraging me to do more live streaming and more coding. Love that. Keep it up. And hopefully I'm doing the same for you. Hopefully I'm encouraging you to do more open source coding as well. So we've got git fetch, git clone. Looks good. Again, another diagram. I am liking the diagrams, but again, using different colors, different icons, there isn't that consistency. Git add. So you do go into a lot of detail straight away for each one. What I would probably suggest is maybe show the workflow to begin with, and then kind of, git initialize, git commit, git push, git pull, and then go, well, there's actually more details here. I would probably have a high level and then go into the details. Otherwise, it's just straight into the details. And someone who's adding is not going to need to know all these different types of ways of adding. Again, more different colors again. I think if you can kind of keep the similar color palette, it will look more professional. Check out his other projects too. Okay, we'll get to those. Don't worry, we'll get to those. And if I forget, I'm sure you'll remind me. You're really doing a lot of do now. Do I say do a lot? Oh, that's so bad. Okay, git commit. I like the details. It's got a lot of details. It's really nice. Another diagram, which is good. You might want to split this out into different files. I think maybe the README is just too huge. I can raise these as suggestions. Again, more colors. You've got a lot there. It looks good. I think splitting it out rather than having one massive file. So let me raise an issue as a suggestion. Suggestion to split out large README into smaller files. And you can kind of have like a source folder, and you'd still have the README. So maybe I'll put that down. So still have the README, but maybe with high level information and examples. Then have a source directory. And the reason why I say source and not docs is because this whole project is just docs. So to have a docs directory kind of doesn't make so much sense. And if you put it in a source directory, you can use something like ASCII Doctor. Even if you're using Markdown, it obviously works better with ASCII Docs. You can do a lot more. but then you can create a website from it and deploy it to GitHub Pages. Then you can create a PDF, and there are various things you can do, and I can show you some examples. Awesome to have so many people here, by the way. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if I'm looking at your friend's repo, suggest that they join the stream and suggest that they subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so they get notified. It'd be good for them to watch what I'm doing to their repo and the suggestions that I'm giving. Then have a source folder for the more detailed docs. How to start an open source contributions. Just like I'm doing right now, I'm actually showing you how to do that. I'm actually doing open source contributions with you now. So if you want to raise an issue on any of my projects or these projects that we're looking at, that is a contribution. You'll get the green square for that. Suggest building a website and or PDF with ASCII Doctor. When files are split out into sections, then ASCII Doctor, and I'll show an example of this in a second, can be used to build a website and or PDF, and can also deploy to GitHub Pages. There we go. Okay, cool. Andrew says, just send them a text to subscribe. Cool, thank you very much, Diraj. Andrew says, raise an issue or comment on an existing issue, be constructive. If you know how to fix something exists on the project, then you can always submit those either in the browser or just push changes. Exactly, there are so many changes you can do just in the browser. You don't have to fork and clone the project. Yeah, GitHub will do a lot of that for you. So, yeah, it looks good. I look forward to Diraj. Keep me posted on changes to this project and let me know if any changes like that happen with ASCII docs, and I'll show you what that looks like. Then I look forward to seeing how it evolves. So to give an example, I've got this open source book tips, and I've written this in ASCII docs rather than Markdown, so I can show you an example, but it will work the same for Markdown. There is more that I can do with ASCII docs that can't be done in Markdown, but it looks very, very similar. But my point that I want to share is I create very simply on Travis. These are just version numbers that I want to change, but very simply on Travis, like this, I actually create a website from my files. So my doc files are on GitHub, as you saw, and this website is generated from those files. And if I scroll all the way to the bottom, you get a PDF as well that you can look at, and that's generated from the same files, and you get all the clicks and linking to each sections and so forth. So using something like ASCII Doctor, is really, really helpful. Nick Hill, I'm going to get to your repo shortly. Don't worry. If I forget, then do remind me, but I haven't forgotten yet. And if you want to see what I'm up to on GitHub, then don't forget to hit me, give me a follow. And Nick Hill's already following me. Awesome. Thank you very much. But yeah, don't forget to give me a follow. So, what's next? I think it's Nick Hill's repo. Have I forgotten anybody else's? King, thanks for saying nice in the chat. Good to have you here as well. Let's see. Okay. Jennifer, if you want me to have a look at anything, do remind me. I'll definitely have a look. So, yes, keep you updated. Awesome. Cool. Vamsi, your repo. Do you want a link to the repo I was showing as an example? Here we go. I can share that. Here we go. There's a link to the repo. Let me copy and paste Nick Hill's repo. It is Flutter. I don't know much about Flutter, if anything at all, but we can have a look from an open. Oops, not meant to do that. What was in there? I think it was underscore hyphen. I can have a look from an open source perspective. Oh, Flutter's blue. Oh, it's Dart, I suppose. Okay, let's have a look. So you've got a profile picture, which is really good. You're making a quiz app, sounds good, but your README, like this is a quiz app, could go in the description up here. So let's raise an issue. Unless anyone else wants to raise the issue, I suggest we raise an issue saying add a description to the repo, which we've got up here, and then add a repo with a screenshot and more information. So I can raise that. This is my open source contributions, but if anyone else wants to raise some, let me know and I will stop and allow you to raise it. Add description to repo at the top. A bit more description there. Okay, and then we'll raise another issue just saying README should contain getting started commands or instructions. And then I want to raise another one for a screenshot as well. The reason why I'm raising them separately is I think there are two bits of work. They are both going in the README, but one might get closed, you might not do it, or you might complete it at different times. Add screenshot to README. Okay. Look at my my GitHub squares now for today. 2096. If I refresh that, look, 2104. And that green square is getting darker and darker. That's how simple it is to get involved in the community and add value and keep adding value and just improving your profile. So how are we going? Right, okay. So, and I could also click on README and add some steps, add a screenshot, but I don't have it running, so I don't know. Yeah, that's my biggest suggestion. Description, README with how to start on the project locally, and also adding a screenshot. That's my biggest suggestions to begin with. Yeah. Who's next? Oh, Diraj did suggest looking at his friend's other projects. As we haven't got any other examples to look at, we can take a peek at this. So he's got various other projects. If we look at repositories, and we will change it to sources, so there's not things that are forked, and we can just have a look. This has had some recent activity to it, same with this one. A lot of Python and Flask. Pretty active. I mean, he's got a lot going on. I a bit of Java down there, HTML. We'll look at this one. It's his most recent active one. Got some running instructions, no screenshot though. And it looks like it's mostly front-end-ish, templates. So yes. Nick Hill, sure, I'll fix these issues and keep you updated regarding this. Yes, please do. I love seeing these projects evolve and change, and everything I'm raising as an issue is only suggestions. If you don't want to do it, or you want to do it slightly differently, then do it another way. I actually did get an email on my project yesterday. Did someone here raise an issue or close an issue or something? I did get, let me just come over this way and look at my emails. I did see something yesterday. Someone was asking, should I close the issue once the work is done? And once you do the work, oh, it was Diraj, yes. Let me open that and see. So it was on this repo. I raised the issue saying missing README, and you closed it and reopened it. And then you said, thank you, what do we do after we solve it? You just close it. If you're the maintainer of the project, you decide how and when you want to manage things. But yes, it would be good to put a comment in saying added README and closed. And you could even take a screenshot on the you've added the README, and you could take a screenshot of that and put that in the comment in the issue if you really wanted to. You don't have to. I would say just close it, and I'm happy to close it for you. It's not a problem. Not screenshot. README was added, and then I'm just going to close it. Therefore, you keep your issues list. Go down to 3 now. Of issues, of actions that you need to do. Right, back to this one. I mean, this is really good. I like the badges in the README. I love badges in the README, so it's really good. How about a review of Twitch Coder's War Blaster? Oh, do you remember that? So Andrew and me wrote this game when we first started streaming about, I don't know, 2 years ago. Maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. Let's have a look. You're right. This game was good fun. Andrew and me want to, I know we're building our quiz platform on Code Mortals, but I'm really quite keen to make a game using Phaser. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like a library or framework for building games in the browser. I think it looks really good fun. You can then host it on GitHub pages, which is what we did. But no, this looks really good. Awesome. Let's have a look at Twitch Coders Phase Blaster. Warp Blaster. I can't even remember the name. Oops. I still need the GitHub stuff. So we're going to review a project that Andrew and me put together. So we have the description, we have, oh, don't want to edit that, have the description, have a link, and we'll go to the link in a minute to play the game, which is good. I'm sure I'll find loads of issues in mine. I always do when I look back at my projects that I created before, or code or anything, I find so many improvements. Have I got a screenshot? I'm happy with that. Got a quick start, happy with that. Flu bits, I don't think we use anymore, so actually now we should remove that, so that's out of date. But let's go play the game. I mean, we've got 14 issues of things we wanted to do in the game. Does it work in Safari or do I need Chrome? I cannot remember. I think I needed Chrome. Oh no, it works. I don't know if you can hear the sound. I can't hear the sound, but there was sound effects. And there was these hearts that Andrew put in. Is this a power up to get a heart? Yeah, it was. Andrew, you did a lot of work on this. I'm actually really impressed. This is what we built over a few streams. So if I get hit, do I lose a heart? Yes, I lost a few hearts now. Okay, so there's another power up. And it doesn't get shot, but I can collect it. Oh, does it bring me a shield? I can't remember what the power ups did. But yeah, this is the game we built. And score of 245. We could do a multiplayer version where, not multiplayer version, but at least the score gets saved on Firebase, so you know how you rank with the other people in the world. So that is something that Andrew and me built, and it is open source. And we used Phaser to build it, which is this desktop and mobile HTML5 game framework. And that was really good fun. It is good fun to build stuff like this. I really think it is. And let me make this a bit bigger so you can all see it. The games they have, I mean, they have 3D games and they have, you know, physics engine and so forth, and you know, top-down games versus platform games and so forth. So yeah, good, really good fun. I think when we were doing that, we had some challenges around the game because we wanted to use Phaser 2 with Phaser 3, I think, with TypeScript, but it had just come out and there weren't any good examples and so forth. So now it's probably going to be a lot better, I'm guessing. Getting started, there was a lot of confusion between version 2 and 3 and all the rest, but I'm guessing it's a lot better. So yes, cool. So how is everyone else's day going, right? What is everyone else planned for the weekend? I hope you got some open source contributions planned for the weekend. A sponsorship on GitHub is the least I could do. Did I get a sponsorship on GitHub? That would be my first one ever if I did. Let me see. I can check my emails, right? It should come through as an email, I think. I'm not sure. I've never had a sponsorship on that. But if you've done that, I appreciate that. I don't feel like you have to, but I do appreciate it. I don't know how it looks or how it comes up. I'm guessing it shows on my profile, sponsorship dashboard. Oh, maybe not that one. Maybe if I go to my, in a private browsing, does that work? So I can kind of see it from the other user's point of view. I've never looked at this before. Sponsor. You usually can see who's sponsoring though, right? I don't know. I'm not sure. Never done it before, but awesome. Thank you so much if you do that. That's really appreciated. And let me know how it goes, how the process is. I see every day has been a weekday. Every day has been a weekend these days. That's true. I can't even read. Yeah, it's true. It has kind of felt like a weekend, but this week for me has been really hard. Like last week and the weekend, last weekend and this week has actually all felt like weekdays to me. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend to do more live streaming and go out and get some sun. I was actually going to do this lunchtime live stream from the garden, but I thought I'll get too distracted and I won't be able to see the screen because the sun will be like glaring. And I am actually planning to do a bit of work on my home office this morning, and not this morning, this weekend. So if I show you my home office, I've got these foam things that I want to put up over this whole kind of corner. That's the idea, to reduce the echo and also block out all this light that kind of washes me out a lot of the times. I've put one up that's blocking it out as a tester, but I need to obviously move it around and adjust it and make it look really good. So yeah, that's the idea for the weekend. I've got lots to do, lots of streaming. Like I said to you as well, I am doing behind the scenes at a hackathon this weekend for a couple of hours on Saturday and Sunday, and I will be streaming with Andrew on our Code Mortals channel, doing Angular and Firebase on our quiz platform. And tonight we have 9 o'clock, we have our quiz. Andrew and me have our quiz tonight, where we'll be asking you technical questions. So it'll be 9 p.m. UK time, and we'll be asking, I'm thinking of doing a JavaScript round and I was going to say a Flutter round, but I know nothing about Flutter, so it won't be a Flutter round. JavaScript round and a TypeScript round. I will not be doing the picture round this time. So apparently my picture round is too hard, although I really enjoyed making it. Andrew, I think, is going to do the picture round this time. So 9 thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you all so much. I'm loving this. Yes, keep giving me thumbs up. It helps my stats. Am I on Instagram? Vamsi says, yes, I am. I'm just going to put my socials up at the bottom. It should be in the description below. Maybe they're not, I don't do them for live streams. But I am on Instagram. Everything is, across all socials, is the same for me. It's just my name, Eddie Jowd. But I can put my Instagram link in. I don't really use Instagram so much, but I can put that in the chat for you as well, if that helps. I'm doing more on Twitter, but again, on Twitter, it is just my name is my handle. So I can share that for you as well. Can you do a session where how you started coding, especially earning with coding, your YouTube career and so forth? Well, that's quite an interesting one. I should probably do a live stream and maybe a video on that as well, because I think that could be quite useful. And a live stream is useful as well from a different perspective, because I can get the questions from you and so forth. I mean, we can discuss a bit of it now, like a brief overview. Let me know what you would like to hear. My biggest suggestion for anyone who wants to earn money from coding is all your learnings put on GitHub. Don't be shy that they're not your perfect code. I guarantee you, even if your code is perfect today, if you're still learning, which you should always be learning, that's the beauty of being in tech, your code tomorrow, I say tomorrow, but kind of in 2 weeks' time or a month's time, you'll look back at it and go, oh, that's awful. I know, I look at my code from yesterday and think, what idiot wrote that? And then I look at the kind of the commit and it's me. So share it on GitHub. It will never be perfect. Have side projects. Try and learn as much as you can by having side projects. And even if you only do those side projects for a month or 2 months or whatever it is, you ditch it and pick up another one, it's fine. Have side projects, put them on GitHub, definitely. Biggest suggestion. And then be on Twitter, because I think there's so much out there. Twitter can kind of filter a bit of the information out there. So if you follow people that you trust and respect, obviously follow me. Then when I retweet stuff or share something, then you might go look into it and then kind of just filter down that information a bit. That's what I use Twitter for. I just saw Nick Hill's comment and it says, brush my Node.js skills. But I read that as brushing my teeth and I thought he was making a joke. Yes, ouch, that's my watch. Yes, oh, we'd love that. Awesome. So, we've still got 20 minutes on this stream left. I am finishing at 2 p.m. UK time, hard as always, every weekday, 1 till 2 only. I do some in the evening. I do say do a lot. You're absolutely right. What else can I say? I also live stream in the evening. Yes, there's no do anymore. Okay, cool. I also, as well as live streaming 1 till 2 every day, UK time, I also stream in the evening as well, occasionally, but they're more kind of random ad hoc. And I almost said it then. And I also live stream on my Code Mortals channel that I do with Andrew. So, Let's have a look. Brushing up on Node.js skills. My suggestion for, oh, how is the stream? I'm getting some messages saying stream health is not very good. Interesting. Yeah, that's odd. Hopefully it's okay, and hopefully you can still see everything. How is the video and audio? YouTube is telling me it is not good. Got a warning that's come up. I'll ignore it. But where am I based? I'm in in the UK near London. So let's have a look. So back to what we're saying. I brush up on my Node.js skills. Practice your projects. Just do it. I need to get back to the previous discussion we were having about putting yourself out there. But on Node.js, just keep working on projects and trying different things. Don't always just do a to-do app or a list app or whatever app it is that you see in tutorials. Try and customize it. Use what you've learned and try and build something that's slightly different, like a blog platform or a schedule, like a calendar or something, because it'll make you think about things slightly differently, and I think that's really important. I would say just do it. Maybe build an API with Node is really useful, and maybe try Node with TypeScript. TypeScript is freaking awesome, and if you do that, it'll make your life a lot easier. It's pretty okay, it's good, no interrupts, we can see everything. Okay, awesome. YouTube now has saying I'm sending them too much data. So a minute ago it said you're not sending enough information to keep the stream good, and now it's saying you're sending us too much. I don't know, YouTube can't handle the load. So yes, have side projects, put them open source on GitHub, be on Twitter. I mean, Instagram, it's more of a kind of behind the scenes, like pictures. Like if I took a picture now, that's probably more of a clicking photos picture. Then you'd put that more on Instagram, but I find Twitter is more work focused. Instagram's more kind of a bit more personal focused. Definitely have that. Be on Stack Overflow. Try and answer a few questions here and there. I wouldn't go crazy over it. I think GitHub and open source is more important, but have some activity on Stack Overflow is probably good. If you can write blog posts, do that. I can't write blog posts because I can't write, so I do videos. But do what works for you. By putting yourself out there, your clients will find you. Or if you approach someone about a project, then they Google you, they'll find resources about you, and therefore when you do have that meeting with them or that interview, whatever you want to call it, they'll feel like they know you already. They're not asking superficial questions, they're asking more detailed questions. And by the time you have that meeting or interview, you've 90% got the job already. You just need to seal the deal. So that having my YouTube channel has helped me so much. Have less interviews and more meetings. I don't get interviews so much, it's more of a meeting because the interview part is kind of taken care of my YouTube channel and my open source projects. Oh, I thought it was my internet. Oh, did you have issues, Andrew? You were getting spinners. I don't know. Maybe it was your internet as well as mine. We'll see. I'm sending quite a lot of data to YouTube. I might tune it down. Sorry, I bashed the mic. Might tune it down a little bit in the future. I thought I had for our previous stream this morning, Andrew, on Code Mortals, but obviously when I reloaded my own profile to stream, it's obviously updated that. Andrew, do you also do live streams too? Andrew does have a channel, but he hasn't done any videos and live streams in ages. I keep nagging him to do that, but he is looking at purchasing a new camera. But we did a live stream earlier on today. Let me get you a link. I would have thought Andrew would share the link, but I will get you a link. We do joint live streams together on our Code Mortals channel, and this is definitely focusing more on less talking and more coding, because Andrew says my channel is a bit more about the Eddie show. And I like to have these conversations, especially 1 till 2 every weekday. I like to have it that we're having that conversation, especially now that we're all isolated and people might be living alone, or there might be a lot more in front of the computer. I think it's good to have this conversation. I love getting these questions, and I love reviewing your open source projects as well. This is brilliant. I need to get back onto doing my own ones. Yes, you do, Andrew. I tend to just do things on Code Mortals with Eddie. I can bring these up. I haven't got it configured to bring these up, sorry. I'm busy getting some better kit and rebooting my channel though. Awesome. Yes, Andrew. Definitely reboot your channel and get that better kit. Get that camera so you can get that kind of depth of field. Hope I did that right. I did that blind. I wasn't seeing kind of where my hand was, but you can kind of see the blur. So yes, definitely do that. Right, I'm getting hungry for lunch actually. It's like almost 2 p.m. UK time. Well, actually, I should say it's probably gone half on. Need to go cook dinner. The sun is shining. Dinner, lunch, sun is shining. But I will answer any more questions that you have. Did I miss any questions? If I did, please repost them. I don't usually like it when people repost questions, but I probably missed some. So repost them if I haven't answered them, and it's my fault, not yours. I need to create a web monitoring bot. Any suggestions? My open source project actually does that, but I don't want to kind of push my open source project. What do you want the bot to do? Is it just to check that your website is up? Because I actually have an open source project that does that already. And I've kind of, does that part already. I need to actually, in the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a lot more live streams on getting that project pushed even further. I've put it on hold the last few months because my client work has really taken over. I've been doing a lot of extra hours for my clients. But things are going to change, don't worry, we're going to get a house in order and make sure my open source is doing pretty good. I mean, if I show you my screen again, it is doing pretty good, but I want it all green. I would love my contributions to be over 5,000 per year. That's my goal. Over 5,000 per year would be awesome. I keep hovering around the 2,000 mark. I think one year I did hit like 5,000, and in 1 month I did so much in 1 month, so many hackathons. I was in the top 500 open source contributors in the world on GitHub, and I also trended. Have you ever seen the trending page on GitHub? I actually was in the top 11 people trending that day. GitHub, I think, trending. And you can have a look and see. And if you go to developers, and I didn't even realize, a friend messaged me and said, do you realize that you're in the top, I was number 11. Do you realize you're in the top 11 people trending on GitHub? And I was like, whoa, take a screenshot, double time. So that's my claim to fame. But it hasn't happened in a while, but like I said, I'm kind of getting my life in order in terms of client work and that sort of stuff, so I can do more live streams, more open source, more working with you, more pairing with you, and on my open source project. So the other open source project that I was talking about is Dashboard Hub, and it's been going for a couple of years, but probably for a year seriously. And what it does is it's supposed to give you an overview of your project. It might be more than one repo. So this here, you see it's got Dashboard Hub assets, that's the repo. And it's all in real-time dashboard written with Angular and Firebase. And you can have monitors. I mean, if I bring it up, I haven't logged in ages, but let's have a look. If I go dashboardhub.com, oh, no, .io, not .com, dashboardhub.io. And this website Andrew built for me, so thank you very much, Andrew, for building this for me. And if I go to, I think this is the actual application. So this is the application, and you can see these are the projects that people have created. I've got some new ones since last time I checked. 3 days ago, 2 days ago, 5 hours ago. Awesome. So the idea is, if you go to a project, so if I pick, say my one is here somewhere. And you don't get the monitoring stuff because I'm not logged in. So if I logged in, I usually do this through Chrome, but if I log in, now I'm logged in, I get the monitors, I get tokens, repositories, and how many pings it's taken. And then if I go to the monitor page, it shows that I'm doing a home page, I'm doing a get, I'm checking for a 200, and there's been 5,050 successful and 3 unsuccessful. And if I go into that, then it shows me the most recent pings. So 5 minutes ago it took 200 seconds and I got 200. So I haven't had any failures in the last 17 hours. And those are the sort of things that we have. Oh, my back buttons aren't working. I found the bug. I need to raise a bug. Let's raise it. Issue. New. And I'll say pings page cannot, breadcrumb doesn't work. It's a bug report, yes, get started. From breadcrumb on pings page does not work. I'll just put this as an example. There you go. Submit. Someone can fix that if they want as a pull request. Should be quite easy. I'm guessing it's just the paths are incorrect. Oh, the chat has been busy. What have I missed? Okay, let me see. Let me bring this over. Let's come back and see what I have missed on the chat. What have I, yes, tell me about the bot, but you probably have already. Let's have a look. I need to create a bot. It's funny, we're here at 6:14 in the evening in India and I'm already hungry for dinner. Yeah. I want a bot to check how many days I've got to submit an assignment and notify me. Ah, okay, that sort of bot, not a monitoring to kind of ping bot. Right, okay, sorry, my bad. I misunderstood what you meant by bot. That'd be a really interesting one to do as well. You could do that with Angular and Firebase really easily, or Ionic and Firebase, because on Firebase you can have a scheduler and you can get it to notify you and all those sorts of things. Vamsi, Ravi, are you from India too? Yes. Cool. It's good. I love it when people chat in the chat between each other. I think that's great. I think that's really good. Yes, Vamsi, we can do it as a project. Cool. Nice. Open source project. Do it as an open source project. Join forces together. Do it as an open source project, and then share a link with me, and I can review it, and I can talk about it on a stream and get more people contributing and aware of your project. And if anyone's interested into the kit that Andrew's getting, I do have it opened already. Andrew, I was reviewing your kit. I'm not sure about this lens, but it's not too bad. So yes, Andrew, I will look at your kit after lunch as well. Yeah, you should all get something planned, definitely. You should do something, that'd be awesome. I'd love to talk about that on a video or on a stream in the future, not just your project, but that people join forces from a lunchtime, well, it's not lunchtime where you are in India, it's evening time, dinner time, but from like my 1 hour stream, people joined forces and got together. I just think that's just awesome to hear that. I love, that's such a positive story to share, and I think that's really good. So let me know how you get on, and we've got like less than 9 minutes left on the stream. Let me know what you plan to do. Is the weekend coming? I suggest you start today. Hey, it's Friday evening for you in India. Get started today. Make an open source project and share it. And I'd love to review it, next week or week after, whenever you're ready, in a live stream. That'd be great. Is there a way to get connected? Yes, we have a Code Mortals Slack actually. I don't have one for myself, but we do have a Code Mortals Slack. So if I bring up the Code Mortals website, if I share this with you, there is a Slack link on there. Join the Slack, and we can even create. If you join our Slack channel, we can create another channel. That's kind of a bit confusing. But you know what I mean? Like channels down the side. We can create a channel for your project, and then we can just kind of keep an eye on how it's going and all the rest. I'm sure Andrew has some good thoughts around that too. No, not all thanks to me, all thanks to you. It's awesome that you're here and chatting. There are lots of people watching that aren't chatting, and they're maybe busy doing something while watching and listening, or they're a bit shy, and that's great. I'm really glad to have them here, don't get me wrong. But the people who are chatting, I think, get even more out of it, because then people either can help each other, or they think, I want to learn more about that, let's continue the conversation, or they give me feedback about what they want to learn. When we talked about how to find a client, a paying client through coding, only briefly. We'll do a more in-depth one. I'm more than happy to bring a guest on, another colleague, another friend who can also talk about that on a live stream, and you can ask them and me questions, so you get two different perspectives. And I'm also keen to, and we also talked about Node and how to brush up on Node skills. So I'm always keen to help, and it helps me as well it helps you. So asking questions, chatting in the chat, it helps all of us. So this is great. So thank you so much. Give me your Instagrams. Yeah, you all talk wherever you think is best and easiest for you. Just for the record though, Instagram chat is freaking awful. Like, it's so bad. When people message me on that, I have like a copy and paste default message where I write, can we talk on like Facebook Messenger, or LinkedIn chat is useless as well. Facebook Messenger, or what's the other one? WhatsApp I don't like using, I prefer keeping that for family. But there's another one I use, I can't even think. Or Twitter Messenger is pretty Twitter's chat's pretty good. That's actually my favourite one because I'm on Twitter quite a lot. But yeah, Instagram Messenger, so bad, so bad. I use Twitter more, nice, cool. Well, my Twitter messages are open, so feel free to ping me a message and let me know how everything's going. Right, how is everyone ready? Have I inspired you to do more open source this weekend? It sounds like I have. I'm so happy. That has made my day. I'm going to go celebrate by having some lunch, but that really has made my day. Thank you all so much for being here. If I can do anything else to help, please let me know. Put a comment in the chat now, or when the stream finishes, put a comment in the video. So not in the chat, but in the video afterwards. And I'll definitely reply and get back to you. But let me know what other things you'd like to see. Like I said, we mentioned talking about Node, we talked about TypeScript, we talked about Ionic. I almost remember the Ionic one, I really want to do that. We talked about how to make money through code. Anything else you'd like to see or hear more about, I'm more than happy to share my experience with you, my knowledge with you. And if I don't have the answers, will know someone who does, and I can bring them on the stream and we can do Q&A with them, ask them questions. I do have 15 people lined up to join me for these lunchtime streams to give kind of like a 10-15 minute lightning talk and then to have Q&A with them. So when I finish on my client, I promise you these are going to get more interesting, more exciting, and yes, we will get there. Telegram is good too. Yeah, I hear Telegram is good too, but I don't use it. You can mentor us and guide us through the project. When can I contact you after the stream? Twitter's probably the best place, or a comment on the video afterwards. But yeah, we'll look forward to seeing what you come up with, and join us on the Code Mortals channel, where we are going to be doing some similar coding with Angular and Firebase and Node, so very similar to what you're going to be doing. So I'm sure there will be overlap in terms of technology side and challenges that you have. Like we had challenges this morning on our live stream on Code Mortals, where we were setting up the CI, and we had some challenges around that. So I'm sure we'll have a challenge like that, and then you can use that for your own project to get that set up, to get, like, for example, CI deploying or building your project and deploying the front end and back end and all the rest. And there wasn't a lot to it, but we did have some challenges, so it's quite interesting. But yes, okay, we've got only a few minutes left. You can tell my mouth is getting dry. I need a lunchtime drink, like of 7-Up or something. I'm not talking like I'm an alcoholic or anything, but like, a lunchtime liquid drink, even just squash or juice would be so good right now. And I'll get some food. This morning challenge, I saw that. Oh, you saw it? Awesome. Yeah, it was, you kept very quiet in the chat. You should have given us moral support and said, I know you guys are struggling, but I'm here, I'm supporting you. And just by hearing that in the chat is really supportive. So I think, if you're watching me or me and Andrew on our Code Mortals channel, or somebody else, just writing something in the chat when the person's struggling really helps, really goes a long way. So I really appreciate that. Like starring someone's project on GitHub, or putting a comment on their GitHub, or just liking someone's tweet. It's a very similar sort of thing. So thank you all for the thumbs up on my video. If you haven't thumbs up my video yet, do. Don't forget to subscribe below. Hit that bell button to get notified when I do go live. I am doing also some random live streams late in the evening or early in the morning, just to say hey. And if I'm working on something that's open source, which is most of the time, then I'm keen to just share what I'm working on. I'll just start a live stream and carry on coding. And you'll see me struggle, and that's part of the fun. And if you see the answer, please share the answer with me. If you see me struggling and you don't have an answer, but you want to see the answer, then just say, hey, we're here, we're supporting you, because that means a lot as well. Awesome. Lael, thank you so much. I'm going to get you on my live stream someday, though. Let me know when. I'd love to hear about your experiences with women tech makers and with how things are in Lebanon, and how you found going from Java to Kotlin, and I know you use Firebase as well. So get more on your YouTube channel as well. Everyone subscribe to Lael's YouTube channel, and we'll encourage her to do more videos and live streams, and I'll get her on my live stream soon as well, and we can hear more about Kotlin. I do want to hear more about that. Everyone, have a great day and have a great weekend. I will be live streaming over the weekend as well. I did say about the hackathon that I'm planning to live stream behind the scenes with the attendees, about the projects they're working on, so please join me for that. If you've hit the notification bell button, you'll get notified when that happens. And I'll try and set that up in advance so you do get notified and you can plan your days a bit better. Have a great weekend. If I don't see you over the weekend, have a great weekend. And I'll hopefully see you at our lunchtime kind of sessions next week, starting back on Monday again. Have an awesome weekend, everyone. If you want Lael's YouTube channel, I think there is 3 dots on the right. You can click it, and over the name in the chat, you can click it and you can say go to channel. But by all means, share it as well. And don't forget to subscribe to Amadine's channel as well. She does a lot of live streams on startups, and it's really interesting to hear how these startups have challenges and how they solve them. It's all so interesting, and she's just started putting YouTube videos out, collating this information and sharing it. She streams every Saturday, so yes, have a look at Amadine's channel as well. Awesome, everyone, I'm going to go get some food. I think it's time for me to eat. I've been streaming for quite a few hours, only an hour here, but I did like an hour and a half of Andrew this morning. Thank you so much for all the great chat. It really means a lot to me, really does. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Everyone, bye. Oh, there's a button here for a holding page. Bye.